Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have an amazing video for you guys today. I found an article that you guys are gonna absolutely love. It's from tellmebest.com, right? And basically the article starts, is the housing market going to crash? Now if you guys like this article, just go ahead. I do have a link of it in the description if you want to kind of read a little bit more, but I kind of want to just kind of go outline this article and see what you guys think, and do you agree with this article? I'm also gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about how I see things. So basically it starts with, is the housing market going to crash? And the article begins with, back in 2008 we saw one of the great real estate collapses ever when a variety of factors, namely big banks' willingness to lend to underqualified buyers at an alarming rate, ultimately led to a major market crash that took years to recover from. The events from that year sparked books, movies, and a whole generation wary of when it might happen again, asking themselves almost constantly, is this housing market going to crash? But then, as so often happens, things started to turn around when, over the last few years, we've seen almost an unprecedented bull run of housing fueled by another set of factors, including lower interest rates, investment dollars going into the market, and much more. And so the housing market is going to crash after this run. Let's take a look and see what we should expect. Now, this is a good article. I'm really enjoying it. Check this out. Is the housing market going to crash because of the prices? I suspect we all know the story of the housing market over the last few years. Prices have skyrocketed at almost an unprecedented rate, leading to some huge wins for some sellers and massive frustration for many looking to buy. Many have had the story about someone seeing a home hit a market only to find there were multiple offers over asking price, and it seemed like the first 30 seconds it all becomes too commonplace. So yeah, I definitely saw a bunch of people trying to get into the housing market, and they couldn't. They were outbid within a few days. And just like people were asking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 over asking prices. It was kind of crazy. Markets like that really can't sustain themselves. That's why everyone keeps talking about, is there going to be a big crash? We're just going to have to see. It might not happen, but I believe it will. So the article also says, is the housing market going to crash because of interest rates? One reason of the housing market has seen such gains over the last few years is because it was easier to get a hold of money to make the purchase. Whether first-time home buyers, house flippers, investors, or relocators, getting the cash to make to buy had almost never been easier. I do agree. We had record low interest rates, and the reason people dropped the interest rates was basically because the economy shut down because of COVID. So this made people just go crazy, and they started buying. As we keep reading, inventory remains very low. This is keeping the prices high because at the end of the day, the economy is not that strong, and nobody wants to sell their house and then have to pay a ridiculous high price for another house. So people are kind of holding on, but that is a sign to me that things are way too expensive, and we're looking into going into a huge correction. Now, mortgage companies did get smart. So back in the days, I could tell you my own story is that basically before they were lending money to anybody, but today they were doing something similar by giving a lot of money, letting people take seconds on their house. So basically, the housing prices went up, and then people used that to take money out at low rates. So but you could make the point and the argument that the only reason they went up was because there was low supply and interest rates were low. But yet people still took that advantage to pull money out, which could lead to a big problem. Because when people take money out, they basically stimulate the economy, but that money dries up. So it could lead to layoffs in the future. Institutional investors, as we all know, they have access to a lot of money, especially public companies. They could raise money. The stock market was going through the roof. That gives them more capital, and they went in and just bought a lot of properties. So final thoughts of this article, from these factors, the housing market, is it going to crash? It sure doesn't look like to be the case. Numerous experts believe we're set to see a steady increase in price over the coming years, not like what we saw in the last two, but it does appear prices are going to drop slowly. They're not going to drop anytime soon. I do not agree with this article, because this article is not taking into account that if we go into a recession, we are going to have a lot of layoffs, which is going to basically cause people to be strapped for money. And what do they do if they have equity? If they can't pay their mortgage, they are going to sell their house. So right now it is tight for some reasons, but at the same time, we're looking at a 2-year, it's going to drop over time in the next 2 years, but we will see. What do you guys think? Do you agree with this article? Please comment down below. Now, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Now, if you do like these videos, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and go ahead and like and leave a comment. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.